Oh, hi. Hello. How you doing? My name is Waldo, and I'm here to feel the politics with you. How is everybody doing today? I am doing great. Thanks. Um, it is, like a steamy 54 degrees outside my house right now, and I could not be happier. This is great. This is exactly how I want my June to be, is 50-something degrees, somewhat cloudy, maybe a little rain, maybe not, but not hot. No. Ugh. Gross. The heat makes you sweat, and sweat stinks. Nobody likes it. I don't know why you would ever live in a place that's warm. Anyway, hi. How's it going? Today is Saturday, so I will be talking about some politics. I've got some links to look at. We've got some stories to pay attention to, some things to rant about. Graham Platner's back in the news again, but we're going to look at that and see if he actually did anything, if there's anything to talk about, if there's anything to complain about. I don't know. Then it's a little gross, but we're going to talk about some worms. Ew, worms, gross. But there's a severe political ramifications. I've told you before, everything is political, including flesh-eating worms. Those are political. Of course they are. How could they not be? Everything is political. So, and then a couple of little stories, a couple of little things. If anything pops up, if you're in the chat, if you're here, if you're paying attention, if you're interested, hop in the chat. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're feeling. I see the YouTube chat. It appears on the screen, and I can see it on my little second monitor over here. And if you're in the wonderful Twitch chat, the robot will read your stuff out loud.
Robot.
There is the robot right now. And we can all have a good time. If you got a banger of a joke, if you got a really good hot take, toss it in there. Let me know what you're thinking. And then, as usual, I'll chop this all up, turn it into YouTube videos, and you can watch on the YouTube. I think I have a YouTube link right here in... There you go. If you're in Twitch chat, you can click on that YouTube link. You can go to see all the old stories, see all the old stuff. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a follow. Give me a subscribe. All that fun stuff for YouTube, because the YouTube algorithm is powered by hatred. So go into the comments and hate something. It doesn't matter what. It could be anything. Just to hate something. And that will do me quite a bit of benefit. If you go there and you hate on something inside one of my videos, it doesn't matter what it is, but the YouTube algorithm will feel the hatred in your heart and boost me in the algorithm. It's a whole thing. I wish it weren't true, but it is. So let's get started with the fun stuff, the little things, the funny little videos that we can watch, the intro. I like to do the fun ones up front. Let's start with this one. Let's see.
Mr. Secretary, do you believe that all Americans should follow our tax laws?
Yes, Congress.
Yes, good. So do I. And do you believe
She's baiting you, boss. She's laying the trap.
that for those Americans who break our tax laws, they should be audited or held accountable?
Well, I think there are two things there. An audit is not a result of breaking the law.
Yes or no? Simple question.
Well, no, it's not
Do
a
you
simple
think-
question. It's
okay,
a two-part
then let me
question.
break it into two. Do you think
An audit is an investigation. He's right. But should people who do things incorrectly be audited?
You're
They
asking
should-
me if you're asking
please
me
don't
should every
interrupt
taxpayer
me.
be audited?
Please answer that. I came here for answers. If you came here
These things, if you watch politics long enough, you know that all of these are just about getting sound bites, just about getting clicks, just about getting social media to pay attention to you and or the TV news.
to waste time, I'm going to try to make sure you don't do that. Do you believe that people who lie on their tax returns should be audited?
Yes.
Okay, do you think that people who break our laws should be held accountable, our tax laws?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Very simple. Not a hard question. I'm glad we agree. So why is it that you are allowing President Trump to have complete immunity from being audited?
Again, I'm going to have to refer you to my previous statements, and
What was your previous statement,
that
sir?
I am unable to comment on any of the ongoing litigation.
Okay, can you name the ongoing case concerning President Trump's immunity from audit?
There isn't one. That's the trick. He's about to lie.
Sorry?
Sorry?
There are 3 cases.
Can you name them,
that
please?
are out there now, and I will be happy to get back to you on those, because again, I am
He can't name them because there aren't any.
not a lawyer.
Okay.
We are represented by the DOJ.
Great, you said that you can't because there's ongoing litigation. You'll get me the name of the ongoing litigation, because the only ongoing litigation that I know of is surrounding the $1.8 million slush fund, which has already been suspended. The fact is that the judge's ruling in the litigation that references that slush fund only addresses the anti-weaponization fund. It doesn't even address Trump's immunity from audit.
And again, as usual, this is the entire point. What Scott Bessent is doing is very boring nerd shit, yes, but he wants Donald Trump to be immune from audit and immune from all tax laws so that he can lie, cheat, and steal on his taxes as much as he wants, as often as he wants. It even applies to his children and his children's businesses. That way, Scott Bessent and any other grifter, any other right-wing sack of shit, any other lying criminal motherfucker on the Republican side can go into business with one of Trump's kids and never have their businesses audited by the IRS. This is a tax scheme. This is a grift. This is a scam. This is crime at the highest levels. Scott Bessent is helping Donald Trump and his children commit tax
That
fraud
fucking smirk
and
he
crimes.
has made me want to pummel him.
Right, and he thinks that he's being smart about this. He thinks that you can't possibly understand it. You are just some moron from middle America who doesn't understand that he's doing high-level white-collar crime. That's what he needs to do.
He has a massively and unbelievably punchable face.
Absolutely right. He is a scammer. He is a criminal. He is a grifter. He is stealing from us. And he is creating a tax shelter that all you have to do is get in, not physical bed, but in, you have to just be in business with a person named Trump. And all of a sudden, the IRS can't touch you. This is a gigantic scam. And he's on board for it because he hates paying taxes. That is the only ethic that the Republicans have. They hate taxes. They hate it when the government takes some of their money that they stole from the poor people and gives it to the community. That's disgusting to them. That is the most vile and offensive thing that Scott Bessent can think of. He earned his money by rug pulling and trading stocks for imaginary products and speculation. And that money shouldn't be taxed to pay for a road in bumfuck Illinois. No. Gross. He is violently ill. If you tell him that the money he made from imaginary trading of imaginary stocks, of imaginary speculation, is going to have to get taxed a small percentage to pay for children's education in Alabama. He's never even been to Alabama. Yeah, and it's so gross to him. It's so disgusting to him that he hates it. He doesn't want to be a part of it. It's terrible. Stuff is just a bonus. I guess it's actual because Trump has done a massive tax fraud. Yes, he has done massive tax fraud. And if he gets audited, they'll seize everything Trump has. If the IRS were working properly, it would do that. But because he has lawyers, and the lawyers are all in on the scheme, and they're all in on it, the people in the House are in on it, the people in the Senate are in on it. It's a big club, and we're not invited. Those people, Scott Bessent included, do know the legal loopholes, and they have the lawyers who can exploit that shit, and they can drag that shit out until it's past the statute of limitations and shit like that, and then they don't get in trouble for it. That's cheaper than just paying the things, and they've built it that way. And if you don't subscribe to the Besant model, if you don't subscribe to this model, everyone in Washington will absolutely shit on you. They will attack you mercilessly. We're going to see that with Graham Platner here in just a little bit. That if you don't do exactly what those two parties want you to do, you are in trouble. And yeah, Shinseto, infinite rerolls. You get to try in court again, and if you lose, you get to try again, and if you lose, you get to try again, and then you get to change your you get to stay, you get to change the venue and stuff like that, and you can't get a fair trial in New York because you're from New York, and it's a fucking scam all the way from top to bottom. Is this, what's this one? Here he is again. Here's punchable face. There he is. Look at, he deserves a punch in, doesn't he?
I hope that you're proud of your performance today, Mr. Secretary, because
I hope you get some social media clips.
I think it's pretty safe to say that.
I hope you get some social media clips, this piece of shit says. He's robbing you. He is taking the money from you. He is in charge of the Treasury. All the money that comes in from the taxes you pay go through him. He is responsible for that shit, and he wants to take it away from you to benefit himself, to benefit his friends, to benefit his businesses, to make his bottom line go up.
Safe to say that this is probably the most corrupt Treasury Department in our nation's history. And
amen. It absolutely is. He is corrupt. He is stealing from you. He is a parasite on our country.
I am going to have to
While you dance around questions to protect Trump, Americans are
slanderous. Good. Besant, I'm slandering you right now. You are a parasite.
Suffering in Trump's spiraling economy.
You are corrupt.
Inflation is now rising faster than average hourly wages. Gas prices are at an all-time high.
It would only be slanderous if it were
Take me to
proven
court
not to
and
be
prove
true.
you aren't corrupt.
I know, exactly. It would only be slanderous if it were proven not to be true. But it is true, and we know it, and he knows it.
With the war in Iran, the cost of groceries has risen 3.2% over the past years.
She's just going into her rant about the thing to get social media clips, and I dig it. I understand she's a politician. This is what they have to do. This is part of the job.
And prices on most goods have gone up because of Trump's tariffs. So I don't see how you could call that anything other than a failure of the most corrupt Treasury Department in history.
Your time has expired, Ms. Sanchez.
Thank you. My time has expired.
Secretary, I would love for you to respond to the accusations at your department.
Oh, no, accusations of your department. Mr. Smith here is in the club, you see. He owns stock. He owns... he wants to be in business with Donald Trump's kids so that he can also avoid all of the tax collectors. He wants to be in the loopholes. This guy, because he's a Republican, sack of shit, wants to be in those loopholes. He's like, make some more loopholes. Let me find them. Help me find the loopholes. I want to be in those loopholes, baby. Get in there. And that is why capitalism poisons everything. These guys make more money if the loopholes exist. If they rob you, they get more money. If they don't pay into society, they get more money. Their bottom line needs to go up, or else their bottom line isn't going up. That's the only sin that Republicans actually think exists, is a decrease in profit. That is the most hell-worthy trespass to a Republican. Profits are down. And if it takes stealing from the public to make those profits go up, that's what they will do. They don't care about you. They don't care about the country. They are not patriotic. Line go up is the only ethic they have. Line go up. Let's close that. And it's the anniversary, everybody. Happy anniversary for D-Day. So since it's a D-Day anniversary and Donald Trump is the president, we're going to listen to a Nazi spout some bullshit. Let's listen to a Nazi fucking misunderstand everything about our country.
The men buried here fought in a warfighting alliance where every partner brought its full measure of industry, courage, and sacrifice. Not empty slogans.
empty fucking slogans. What better fucking description could anybody have of Donald Trump but empty slogans? He promised not to get into foreign wars, and he has. He promised to fix an economy, and he made it worse. He promised to find the fraud, the corruption, and the abuse in the government, and he's doing the fraud. He's doing the abuse. He's doing the corruption. This guy, exactly, is a sack of shit. Hegseth is a piece of shit. He is a LARPer. He pretends to be some badass super soldier, and he is not. He never has been. He is an empty slogan. Christ almighty, there's no better description of these guys than empty slogans.
Not lavish summits, not communiques. Real allies doing real things, taking real losses for a shared cause worth fighting and dying for.
Anti-Nazi. Being anti-Nazi was patriotic. Fighting against them is the American way. Which is why I don't like you, Mr. Pete Hegseth. I think you are blood and soil fascist.
Each nation pulled its weight. Each nation bled. America will lead, and we must. But capable allies must be right there with us, shoulder to shoulder, in the breach, when it matters.
No diplomacy. Fuck
His
diplomacy.
makeup looked great, though.
Yeah, his makeup does look really nice. Yeah, it's true. The diplomacy. Fuck diplomacy. The only thing you need to do is point guns at the bad guys and threaten to shoot them, and then if they don't do what you tell them, you shoot them. That's as far as his diplomacy understands. He's the war fighter.
In the years since these beaches, much of the West, in some places, in some quarters, and in some capitals, grew comfortable. We forgot that freedom is not free. We forgot that peace is not...
Proceeding to say exclusively empty slogans is crazy work.
Exactly. Freedom isn't free. It's an empty slogan. You fuck. Jesus. Empty slogan. God. Oh. It just drives me nuts.
Not wished into being. It is bought with purpose, with honor, and with strength. The men who landed on these beaches knew this. The question we ask ourselves is, do we? It's past time we remember what they knew. Their legacy demands far more than quiet reflection. It requires our active vigilance.
Empty slogans. Show me some active vigilance, by all means.
Sadly, today, different European beaches are stormed by different dangerous ideologies.
Okay. What he's trying to say there, but poorly, different European beaches, he's talking about England being overrun by brown people, are being stormed by different dangerous ideologies. So America was a dangerous ideology when they stormed Normandy? I don't think that's what he's saying, but it's what he's saying, accidentally.
Are stormed by different dangerous ideologies.
Different dangerous ideology. So if we put a comma there, I don't know if he has a comma there, I can't see his speech. Different and dangerous ideologies. So the brown people who are coming to England, who are coming to Europe, are different and dangerous. So what we need to do, according to Pete Hegseth, is have really strong
Thanks for the raid, Quinn the
borders.
Car, and welcome you three lovely people.
Hey, Quinn the Car, I appreciate
Quinn
it.
the Car just raided the channel with 3 viewers.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. So we're
Get raided, nerd.
get rated.
3.
It's true. I'm getting rated like a nerd. It's true. I appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around. We're screaming and ranting about useless, bad, blood and soil Nazi Pete Hegseth. So he's pissing and moaning about people immigrating to England. Valor brought some friends. Thanks, Valor. I appreciate it. Pete Hegseth is unhappy when
Real.
immigrants go there, and he wants to repel
Val Brow me
the
here.
people. Valor's a cool guy. He was my 69th follower on my stream, and nobody can take that away from them. 69th follower, and will always be. Nobody else can get that. So yeah.
Thank you for following Quinn the Car. Nice.
Quinn the car. You just turned a frog gay. How you doing? I hope you're proud of yourself. You turned that frog very gay.
Heck yay, Val.
You are a frog sexuality engineer now, and I'm proud of you. You can put that on your resumes. You can put that on your CVs. You are a frog sexuality engineer. Good job. And the more followers we have, the more gay frogs there will be. And it's Pride Month, so it's fine. It's good. It's great. Tell everybody that you know that they should come in here.
I am pretty good at making things gay.
Exactly. See, tell your friends, come in here, turn a frog gay. It's a good time. Thanks for coming. So yeah, Valor loves gay frogs. It's true. It's all the fun. Okay, so yeah, what are we doing? We're doing okay. So blood and soil is the essence of fascism, and that is what he is telling you. If the people with the wrong bloodline
The
come to
TTS
England,
on every message is really throwing me off.
that's okay. I know, and you can put a hashtag in front of it, and it won't read it out loud. If you just want to send a message, that's what Valor. See how Valor put a hashtag love gay frog, and then see Valor stopped it right there, and that proves how polite you are. It proves how nice and delightful you are. Also, it's to fuck with me. When I get into a rant, if you want to just dick me up, you can. It really fucks with me. But that's part of the fun of the live streaming is that you get thrown off. I need to practice. I need this is an exercise for me. So yeah, blood and soil is the essence of fascism, and that is what Hegseth is doing here. The people who are coming to England, the people who are coming to Europe, are not the right blood to be on that soil. He thinks this is strength because he is a fascist. He thinks this is patriotism because he does not know what those words mean. He just has empty slogans. Let's continue listening to what he has to say.
Beaches in Spain, in Italy, in Greece, and Bulgaria.
All the Italians need to stay in Italia. Okay, that's what he's talking about. Muslims can't go to Italia. Italians have to stay in Italia. Okay, all the Greeks have to stay in Greece. You can't immigrate to there from somewhere else, or else you're fucking up the program. Your blood is incorrect for this soil.
Boats and men arrive. When will European capitals do something about that invasion?
He did say Bulgaria. You're right. If you're from Bulgaria, you need to stay in Bulgaria. If you're from Bulgaria, you don't get to go to Greek. If you're from Bulgaria, you don't get
Who's
to go
going to tell Hegseth that modern Middle Eastern people have
Italia.
Greek ancestry?
Well, he doesn't know any of that. The lines were drawn the minute he was born. See, that's the thing. All the country lines were drawn the moment Pete Hegseth was born. They didn't exist before, and they cannot be changed afterward. Okay? So they must stay that way. All the Greek people got to stay in Greece. All the Italian people got to stay in Italy. You don't get to move around. You don't get to miscegenate. You don't get to mix. Okay? Because he needs those lines to be drawn. Because he needs to know who's a friend and who's an enemy, who's a enemy, who's from somewhere else. He needs to know who's foreign.
Or is it too late?
Is it too late?
I pray not, and I believe not. The men who fought and died here restored freedom to Europe. That freedom must be maintained by this generation of leaders and warfighters, or what they fought for was merely temporary.
Everything is temporary, you fucking moron. Second, the people who fought and died there were not all Native Americans. were they? No, they were immigrants. They were the children of immigrants. A lot of the people who enlisted for World War II were immigrants to America. Italian immigrants, Greek immigrants, Irish immigrants, or they were the descendants of English immigrants. That's why they have the white face, the white skin. America is a naturally brown continent. Before the English showed up in the 1600s, there were brown people, Native Americans. And then if you look at South America, brown people. White people are an anomaly in the West. But he doesn't know that because the lines were drawn the moment he was born. And his bloodline is superior in his opinion. And his bloodline is the one that did all this imperialism, and that just has to stay the way it was, okay? They did it. It happened in the past, and you couldn't say it was a bad thing, but it led to him, and so he's going to tell you it's a good thing. Blood and soil is the essence of fascism. When you hear people like Pete Hegseth talking about the blood and the soil, we need to recognize that it is fascism. And then try our best not to let them win. If you are doing blood and soil politics, I do not want you to win an election. I do not want you to be in charge, and I will yell at you for doing it. And he misunderstands D-Day. He misunderstands what's going on. He misunderstands what the people were there for, what they were fighting for. He misunderstands because to him, World War II is a video game where good white Christian men fought against an evil Nazi. He doesn't even know what those Nazis stood for. It was blood and soil. And he doesn't recognize that he is encroaching upon their ideology with his blood and soil ideas. Saying that people can't leave the shittier parts of the world and try to immigrate to Europe is blood and soil rhetoric. If he wants to prevent that, you don't shoot them as they show up. You don't cast them back out into the sea. You try and figure out why the hell they're leaving their country. What are they running from? Is there anything I can do to prevent their suffering there? How do I make the ones that are here better? How do I integrate them into my society to make myself better, to make myself stronger, to make my country better? That is what America was built on, and he doesn't know it because he is a moron. Knowing things is antithetical to conservatism. Always has been. Feeling things. That's where it's
nerd
at.
shit, Waldo. Bullets faster.
Bullets are faster, it's true. Understanding people is nerd shit. Comprehending what they're doing and why they're doing it is, in fact, nerd shit. Geopolitics is nerd shit. And you're right. It is faster to just shoot everybody who disagrees with you. That's chud logic. We don't like it. We are pro nerd shit around here, but pointing it out is also important. So let's see. Doop, 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 doop. What else do we have? Hey, let's see the thing that Waldo predicted. Hey, you ever hear me predict things? Well, here it is. ICE presence outside of
gun go pew pew.
And it is fun and it's cool. I agree. Guns shooting and popping off is fun. Chud math is just -1 in perpetuity. Yeah, I like that, and that is quite true. Because they are they're built in a pyramid. It's true. The fascism, the right wing, the MAGA is a pyramid. There are lots of poor, terrible people on the bottom, and then there's the owners and the petite bourgeois, and there's the bourgeois, and then there's the God, King, Emperor, Donald Trump at the top. So you just keep subtracting until you get to the top. It's quite a good point, Valor. Here is ICE outside of a polling place. Hey, Simi Valley is in California, and isn't it? Is Simi Valley in California? I don't remember. I think it is. I could be wrong. I could be thinking of a different valley. But here is an ICE patrol car, an ICE unmarked car at a polling place.
Get the fuck out of here!
Yeah.
You're not allowed to be here. This is illegal. You cannot intimidate voters. You need to out of here. Get out of here.
Give him a thumbs down.
You're
Hell
in
yeah.
You're in a polling place.
And there's the local cops trying to figure out what the hell's going on, because the local cops should be at the polling place. That's fine. That's understandable. I get it. People are crazy these days. Shit's going wild. People want to pop off. And it doesn't look like they're happy, these local cops. If we're lucky, that was a local cop saying, go over there so that you aren't patrolling the damn parking lot outside the polling place. And maybe he was upset with them, if we're lucky. If we're not lucky, he's like, hey, here's a good spot right over there. We need to somehow drive a wedge in between ICE and the local police. It would be delightful if those two groups did not get along. I hope that they don't. The ICE facility that's out in New Jersey right now, that's been in the news a lot lately, had the state National Guard protecting them and helping them to disperse protesters. And I think that's the wrong way to go about it. The National Guard came to L.A. Last year, and that was a fucking mistake. The local cops need to be separate and distinct from ICE, and if they don't like them, that's a good thing for us. ICE is and they shouldn't be in that polling place. That is illegal. That is not within their jurisdiction. That is not a thing that they need to be doing. It will only end badly. And that was the prediction that I made. These upcoming midterms are going to have ICE at polling stations. They are going to be there, and we're going to get a whole bunch of them. And if things go really, really badly, that will cause lots of damage, lots of terror. They will suppress the vote, and they will hurt actual American voters. And speaking of that, there was one other thing that I wanted to talk about. Here we go. Let me find a good link for this. On that same kind of a note, let's look at this. Whistleblower exposes Trump. Oh, come on. Move where I want you to go. Whistleblower exposes Trump's goons' jaw-dropping Social Security plot. They have a plan. They have a plot. Let's read what it is. The plan involved exploiting a database known as the Death Master File. Trump administration. Oh, come on. Trump administration whistleblower says that it plotted to declare 2.7 million living individuals dead to push immigrants out of the country. They're going to tell you that the 2.7 million living people are dead. They're going to figuratively kill 2.7 million people. Why would they do that? Why would they pretend that these living people are dead? So that they can't vote, so that they can't get a driver's license, so that the bank will close their account and they can't open it because you've been labeled dead by the government. Donald Trump and his fucking criminal goons are going to mark people dead to fuck with them, to wreck their lives, to hurt them, to punish them for being politically aligned against him. That sounds like weaponization of the government, doesn't it? He's pissing and moaning, screaming and crying about January 6th rioters, goddamn terrorists who broke into the government, who harmed and damaged, who damaged government buildings, harmed government employees, attacked the cops. 6 cops died. I think it was 6. Because of the things that happened on that day. And that needs to be hand-waved away. That needs to be ignored. That needs to be forgiven. But they want to change 2.7 million living people to being dead in the government database to hurt them, to weaponize them, to damage their lives so that they can win the next election. That sounds like government weaponization to me. But as usual, everything is fucking backward in Trump land. Everything is backward in MAGA town. Every time the government hurts a person, every time the government hurts a liberal, it's justified and awesome and based and red-pilled. But every time the government holds a Republican accountable, it's weaponization. They have literally everything backward, as always. Let's see if I can find a good story about this. Okay, so let's read about this. The Trump administration sought to assign bogus death dates to 2.7 million living people in the United States, a flagrantly illegal use of Social Security Administration data intended to pressure immigrants into leaving the country, a new government insider account revealed. Okay, so it would be immigrants. And it doesn't say illegals, it just says immigrants. The shockingly high number far exceeds the 6,000 administrative killings reported last year in the Washington Post. It comes as a legal disclosure by Jeremiah Schofield, a former SSA senior executive who was in the room when a Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, official laid out a plan to kill off millions of people in the SSA master database. The DOGE official, private equity investor John Koval, private equity investor, is now in charge of who lives and who dies within the government database. That's fucking insane. Capitalism has taken over our government, and it is poisoning, ruining, destroying our society. Don't let fucking capitalism run amok. Please stop this. Please, for the love of God. Anyway, John Koval said in Schofield's presence that the purpose of killing off the 2.7 million living people was to ruin the lives and push them out of the country. Explaining the scheme, Koval said that either the 2.7 million people would self-deport or they would go into their local Social Security office and prove that they are alive, where Immigration and Customs Enforcement could detain and forcibly deport them. Schofield's explosive revelations are being made public today by U.S. Senator Richard Blumenthal. The senators are seeking answers from the SSA commissioner. Individuals who worked with DOGE and SSA, including Koval, demand the officials preserve all records related. And, okay, so it didn't say illegals. It just says immigrants. This didn't say illegal. This didn't say people who are overstaying their visas. It just says immigrants. So, and it's true that this will be used on everyone else if it works. No one is safe from this type of weaponization of our Social Security data. If the administration is permitted to kill people off and ruin their lives, to pursue its anti-immigrant agenda, it will be able to use the same cruel and illegal tactics against anyone who has a Social Security number. So, this is obvious weaponization. Even these people are saying it. Donald Trump is using the government to hurt the people he doesn't like, because that's what they've always been about. They don't like these people, these immigrants, so they want to hurt them. Hurt them, hurt them, hurt them. That's the only thing that conservatives want to use the government for, hurting their enemies. And their enemies are anybody they don't like. Anybody that votes against them. Anybody that suggests that they want to live a different life than the conservative white, straight Christian male living in the suburbs. If you don't want to do that, you are their enemy. And they will use the government to hurt you. This is the most corrupt government we have ever had in America. This is the most corrupt treasury we have ever had in America. This is the most corrupt Social Security office that we've ever had in America. And it's only going to get worse before it gets worse. It's my new catchphrase. I like it. So be on the lookout for this. It's only happened yesterday. There's not a whole lot of reporting about it yet. And if it is only for immigrants, that is probably, maybe they're allowed to vote, maybe they're not. If you are an immigrant and you become a citizen, you get a Social Security number, and then you're allowed to vote. I would be curious to see how many of these people were considered undocumented or illegal, and how many of them all have green cards and all that kind of shit. I would be interested in those numbers, but it's still such a new thing that we don't know how often or how many people this would affect. And So yeah, that is some shit news. I'm not happy about it. Let's see, what else do we have to look at today? Yeah. If you're in chat, if you're watching, hop in the chat, tell me what you're thinking, tell me what you're feeling. Put a hashtag in front of it if you don't want the lovely robot to interrupt me, or if you do, that's fine too. That's some of the fun. YouTube chat is appearing on the screen, but I can't see it. But I can see it. It just doesn't get spoken out loud because YouTube does not love you. I'm sorry. What else is going on? There's also a Discord you can go to and leave links. Did I spell it right? Not even close. Not even close. There's the Discord right there, and we can copy. And I'm honestly, I'm just inviting more robots and clankers to come in there and spam all my channels because that's what happens. Any of it, I saw that you put up a video in there. Any of it puts real good news videos in there. I can't show them on stream though because the most of the videos are content ID'd. So if I showed the video, then the stream gets in trouble, and then I get a strike against me for somebody else's stuff. So I generally keep it to like news, news sites and stuff like that. What do we have to talk about today? Good news, everybody. Parasites. Well, we'll get to DOGE here in a minute. A second Texas screwworm case is confirmed as outbreak fears grow. This is gross, and I'm going to try not to show you any of the horrible pictures of the gross, the gross cows, or two, the grody little worms that are eating the cows. But screwworms, they're a real thing. They exist. They're deposited by flies. Cows hang out with flies. Flies hang out with cows. And then they devour the flesh of the cow. This is bad. This is not good. It's not good for the cow. It's not good for you. Generally, they don't get on people because you would notice a fly depositing eggs into your ear, probably. This is a bad thing. We don't like this. It kills the cows. It's bad for their health. It's bad for your health. You don't want to eat the food that's full of flies. This is not a good thing. And why is this happening now? Rest in peace, Texas barbecue. Why is this happening now? Well, it's because DOGE cut the monitoring of these things. The government used to monitor these cases, but DOGE, in their infinite wisdom, stopped the government monitoring of these screwworms because they are ignorant. They don't know what the government does. Elon Musk was on a fucking podcast, on Joe Rogan's podcast not too long ago, screaming bloody murder about gigantic fraud that he can't prove. He told us that the government was wasting money on all these frivolous projects that don't matter to you. And here is one of the frivolous projects that he did not understand. And that is the problem. Conservatives, almost every single damn one of them, overestimates their own intelligence. I overestimate my own intelligence all the time. But when you prove me wrong, I'll let you know. And when I'm wrong, I'll say that I'm wrong about a thing. There's lots of things that I don't understand. The things that I don't understand could fill a warehouse, and that's fine. I accept that. DOGE does not think that. Anybody who worked for DOGE, especially Elon Musk, and anybody who works for him, and he is he put in charge of DOGE, think that they are geniuses. And in their geniusness, in their brilliance, while they were pillaging the government back in 2025, some 20-year-old dipshit whose only merit is eating Elon's farts saw screwworm monitoring program And then he thought to himself, well, I've never heard of screwworms. This must be some of that government waste that I'm here to find and get rid of. So he canceled the monitoring programs. And now we all have to fear an outbreak, possibly ruining the ranchers' livelihoods, possibly causing a food shortage. You know what else causes a food shortage? A lack of fertilizer coming through the Strait of Hormuz. So now we have a double food shortage on the forecast. The farmers can't get fertilizer, which means they can't produce as much crops as they could. And now the ranchers can't feed the cows, and their cows are going to die from these parasites. All because of dipshits in charge of the government. Anti-intellectual dipshits lead to anarchy. The Republicans are the anarchy party. They hate government. They will see it destroyed, except for the military, of course. That's the only thing the Republicans think the government should do. No environmental monitoring, no checking for screwworms, no checking for botulism in the water, no checking for groundwater cleanliness. No. The government shouldn't do any of that. No environmental monitoring, no science experiments, no building of roads, no disaster recovery, no disaster preparedness, no welfare, no social security, no economic controls, no vaccine studies, no vaccine requirements, no health care for citizens, no paying for doctors, no libraries, no public spaces at all, no national parks. All that shit needs to go away, according to the conservatives. And the conservative brain, the only thing that the government ought to do is administer a military to hurt the bad guys. That's it. Arm them, point them at the bad guys. That is all they want the government to do. But there's a severe flaw here. If monitoring for screwworms isn't a profitable business, it won't get done. We are living under a hellish version of capitalism, and it's only getting worse. Things that help people but aren't profitable won't get done. We need a government to do those things. We need a government to monitor screwworms. We need a government to monitor the pollution in the air. We need a government to rake the floors. Donald Trump's a dipshit, but he did mention one thing one time that I can agree with. The wildfires in California happen because no one is cleaning up the forest floor. And it will continue to happen in California if nobody's raking that shit up. Rake the floors. He said rake the floors. That's all you have to do. California, you have to rake the floors. But he, in his ignorance and stupidity, doesn't recognize who's going to rake the floors. Donnie, who's going to do it? A company? They can't make a profit from that. Who's going to pay them? Who's going to pay a company to clean all the brush and twigs and branches and dried leaves from the floor? They can't sell that shit as a product, so they're not going to do it. That's why it's not done. The only things that get done in America are the things that turn a profit, which means you need a government to hire people to do that, or hire a company to do that, which means you need a government, which means you need government to pay for that shit. But the DOGE cut the government. The DOGE cut the government to the bone because they don't know anything. They don't know what the government does. Elon is a moron. The people who work for DOGE are morons who do not know why it's important. Conspiracy theory time, they did this on purpose to make us all vegans. No beef means all plant diet. It's fun, maybe. If it weren't hurting the ranchers, I think you might have something there. Folks, listen to me. The government intentionally stopped paying attention to these screwworms, and they started intentionally spreading them around to force us all into a all-plant diet. As the cows get sick and as the cows die, they will not be allowed to make it to market, and then you can't buy beef. And if you can't buy beef, what are you going to buy? You're going to buy the Impossible Burgers. Obviously, this is a scam. Yeah, and that's possible. That's a fun conspiracy theory. I just don't think it doesn't serve the right wing agenda. However, hi, Lazy T Texican. Thanks for coming. Lazy Texican. I like that. Or an all bug diet. They're going to force us to eat the bugs. Maybe, but it seems unlikely. The current conspiracy theories are to empower the right wing, and the right wing loves beef, and they love ranchers, and they love cows, and they just don't know that the government helps with those things. They hate the government. They hate it. They hate it. They hate it. They hate it. They don't know what it does, and they're not going to learn. No, they're not going to learn what the government does. That's nerd shit. Okay, you can't learn stuff. No, conservatives already know everything. They don't need to learn new stuff. They already know everything. So when they take over DOGE, they cut screwworm funding because they've never heard of it. Lots of people have never heard of screwworms, and that's okay. You don't have to know everything. But the people who do know stuff went to the government, made their case, and said, we need to take care
Farmers
of this
and
shit.
ranchers definitely know what the government does. The guys who think that they're helping their local community, they're messing it up.
Exactly. They don't listen to the local people. They don't listen to the experts. They hate experts. Conservatives hate experts. Man, if you get an expert on some sort of science field, they'll throw that guy right out of the room. Ugh, experts. Don't they know that we conservatives just use our gut? I don't need no expert telling me how to live my life, okay? I know every damn thing there is to know, okay? And if I don't know about screwworms, it's because it's not important. It's probably some sort of made-up, imaginary government scheme. You see, Dr. Fauci goes to the government and says, "Hey, there's these here screwworms coming up from Mexico, and they're killing our cows, and so I need billions of dollars to stop them." Okay, and the government then says, "Yeah, that's fine. Here you go, Dr. Fauci. Here's a bunch of fucking money, and I paid that tax money." But we just need to build a wall, keep them screwworms out, and the wall won't stop the screwworms. They're deposited by flies. They just fly around the wall or over the wall. Doesn't matter. So let's see, what else do we have on screwworms? I'll try not to put any pictures of them on the screen because they're gross. A second flesh-eating screwworm infection reported in Catalan, Texas. Governor issued disaster declaration as agencies moved to stop spread of parasite, including release of sterile flies. Now, the governor, which is a government official, issued a disaster declaration, which is a thing the government does, as agencies that belong to the government move to stop the spread of the parasite. This is what governments are supposed to do. But if you underfund them, if you allow 20-year-old dipshits at DOGE to kill your government, you don't get to do any of that stuff. There won't be a governor. There won't be a disaster declaration. There won't be any agencies if conservatives get their way. If you let conservatives be in charge of the government, they will kill the government. All of it. Except the military, in which case they will just send the soldiers to Texas to shoot the cows with the worms. And then they'll shoot the flies. And it will make everything worse, because flies love dead flesh. It will make everything worse. You cannot solve every problem with a bullet. Conservatives will not accept that as a fact. I would say that's a fact, and they won't accept it. They don't like that idea. Every problem can be solved with violence, according to them. And if at first violence doesn't succeed, then you need just to apply more violence in the right place. That is their plan for literally everything. Let's see if we got any more of this. So let's see. I haven't read this one yet, but we're going to read it together. It's just popped up on my timeline. Trump forced to deploy border czar to clean up Markwayne Mullen's mess. So Markwayne Mullen, I think that's a African name. It's very woke of them to have Markwayne in the cabinet. But Markwayne Mullen made a mess. I'm not sure what. Violent clashes between protesters and ICE agents in Newark's Delaney Hall detention facility forced the Trump administration to deploy its top immigration official for emergency de-escalation after newly appointed DHS Secretary Marquand Mullen made the situation dramatically worse. Are you saying this dipshit from Oklahoma didn't make the situation better? Man, who could have seen that coming? Who could have imagined that hiring an unqualified MAGA dick-sucking piece of shit would make everything worse? According to Politico, by my award, tensions that had been escalated nightly cooled after the border czar Tom Homan. Tom Homan is the voice of reason. Tom Homan is the cooling down factor. Tom Homan is causing everything to chill out. That's disgusting. That's terrible. That's a nightmare sentence. The crisis began when the images of videos surfaced showing violent clashes between pro-immigrant demonstrators and ICE agents outside the 1,000-bed privately run detention facility. The unrest followed allegations of poor conditions inside the facility and a detainee hunger strike. Democratic lawmakers descended on the site to condemn detention conditions and accuse federal agents of violence against protesters. Mullen's response made matters worse. The new DHS secretary threatened to pull customs staffing from Newark Liberty International Airport. I talked about that last week. A threat that shocked administration officials and sparked airline industry fears of travel chaos across the region. So, because he doesn't know how to de-escalate or do diplomacy, he just threatened to hurt them. He said, what does my department do for you in New Jersey? I will hurt that. That's their plan. Hurt their enemies. That is all. Hurt the enemies. Hurt the enemies. Violence, the conservative duct tape. Exactly. He's doing the duct tape. Hurt the enemies. And if they don't want you to hurt them, they'll do what you tell them to do. The chain of command is a big chain that I hit you with until you do what I tell you to do. That was his plan. Hit them. Hurt them. Until they decide to do what he wants. Coercion. But that would make a giant mess everywhere else. Marquand Mullen said, I'll just stop doing customs enforcement shit at your airport in New Jersey. To hurt you, to hurt your airport, to hurt the people coming in, to hurt the people going out, to hurt your businesses, to hurt anybody in that state. And then when you're upset about being hurt, you will do what I want, which is use the state National Guard to get rid of these protesters. That was what he wanted. That was his plan. Marquand Mullen, his plan was take away customs enforcement at the airport until the governor used the military of the state to hurt the protesters. The governor has not done that, and the governor isn't being great here. The governor is being a wimp, but all Democrats are wimps generally. The governor is only doing a little bit of anti-protester stuff. There, she's putting the state National Guard in between ICE and the protesters to try and calm it down. She should make them turn around. So here, follow me. Here's my plan that I would like to see the governor do. Turn the state National Guard around and kick them out of that building. Kick ICE out of your state. Remove them. Pull the occupancy permits and shit like that from the building. Cut off the power to that building until ICE leaves. They are the invading force in this situation. Do not let them do fascism in your state. Walk into the facility with the state National Guard and say, you are harming my state. Leave now. And then if the people, then take care of the prisoners yourself as a state. Find out who they are, find out what they're doing, find out why they're there, and if they are breaking the law, prosecute them. through the proper channels. If they are not, you release them. That is what every state needs to be doing. Every blue state, anyway. And every red state should do that if they were ethically decent people, but they're not. Should be doing exactly that. Preventing ICE from doing what they're doing. They're not protecting you. They're not helping you. They're not doing anything legal or good or right or ethical. They're doing immoral, evil things. They're doing bad things. They're doing crimes. And they should not be allowed to do that. Pull the occupancy, cut the power, cut the water, make them leave. Do not allow delivery trucks in to feed the ICE agents. Do not allow it. Use the National Guard to reroute those trucks somewhere else. And is that an escalation? Yes. But this will escalate before it ends. There's no way this doesn't escalate before it ends. The conservatives, the MAGA, the right wing, aren't going to get tired of this one. They might get tired of an Iran war and just let that peter out. They might get tired of invade Greenland and let that die and ignore and wither. They might get tired of taking back the Panama Canal. They might get tired of those things, but they're not going to get tired of the immigrants, of hurting the immigrants. That's their jam. That's the most important thing to MAGA, hurting the immigrants. That's their bread and butter right there. They're not going to give up on that. So, what else do we have to talk about? Before we get into Graham Platner, I just saw this and I didn't know what the hell to make of it. Prime Minister Carney from Canada launches AI for All, Canada's new national artificial intelligence strategy. Now, I very much dislike most AI. I don't know what this is, though, or what the Canadian Prime Minister is doing. Is it bad? I don't know. The world is changing. Can I do a Canadian accent? I'll try. The world is changing rapidly, with intensifying economic competition, accelerating technological change, and a global race to secure the talent, infrastructure, and innovation that will define the future. Artificial intelligence is at the center of this transformation, changing how people live and work, how businesses compete, and how countries protect their sovereignty. While Canada, all right, I can't do it anymore. While Canada has a world-class talent and one of the fastest-growing digital sectors, G7, blah, blah, blah. Today, Prime Minister Mark Carney launched AI for All, Canada's new AI strategy. Over the next 5 years, the strategy will introduce new legislation, investments, and programs that ensure AI is adopted responsibly and in a way that truly serves all Canadians, building trust, expanding opportunities, reinforcing control over our sovereignty. 200 billion AI jobs, great. Protect Canadians from the risks, strengthen multinational partnerships, establish national AI literacy initiative. I don't like the sound of that. That sounds weird. Re-education so that you can stop hating AI. As part of this effort, AI literacy will reach 1 million entry-level post-secondary students. That doesn't sound good. Train more than 3,000 educators. I'm kind of nervous about that. Provide access to trusted AI agents for every post-secondary student. That doesn't, it'll be wrong, and then they'll be wrong. If you learn from AI, you have a chance of being wrong. If you learn from a human being, great. But I know that humans can be wrong. Lots of people don't know that AI lies to them. Provide 90,000 AI-related jobs. Help small and medium businesses. Launch first AI mission programs. To reinforce sovereignty. Canadian AI compute cloud connectivity data so that talent from Canadian researchers, businesses, and public institutions can build and adopt AI on Canadian terms. I don't like that either. Well, that sounds maybe okay, but it leads to middle managers incapable of writing a simple email. I've worked for big companies before, and I knew lots of middle managers who didn't read their emails. They just had AI summarize everything for them. And then when they had to send out a message, they just had AI write it for them. I spent hours writing my yearly fucking performance review by hand, crafted artisanally, handcrafted by me. and only to have a middle manager who doesn't know me have AI sum it up and then give me a score based on what the AI said. And it's entirely inhuman. It's disgusting. Did that guy do any work? No. He's worthless and useless, but he outranks me within the company, and he makes a shitload more money for doing fuck all nothing. And that will lead to a great hollowing of the American middle class, and maybe even the slightly upper class, which could lead to, again, more complicated economic issues that we're not prepared for. We are not ready for 100, or maybe no, how many would there be? We're not ready for how many middle managers are there in the country? I don't know. We're not ready for thousands upon thousands of middle managers who can't do shit and don't know how to do anything without AI to be spit out and released into the job market because they don't know shit. They don't know nothing. They can't do anything. They use AI as a crutch just to get through the day. And it will lead to very rich people, well, not rich, but upper middle class people, to be very upset that they can't find a job because AI has replaced them. And that will cause massive panic. And because they're dumb, they will probably move to the right. I'm sorry, but if you are already a middle manager who doesn't know all that much, you're kind of reactionary, right? And you're going to go towards the right. You're going to go towards the Republicans. The Democrats are going to try and teach you to code. And the right wing is going to tell you that it's the immigrants' fault, that it's somebody else's fault, that it's the minority's fault. It's the Democrats' fault. It's the liberals' fault that you lost your job, that you weren't doing anything. And it's the government's fault, actually. It's the government's fault that Amazon created an AI that replaced you. That's the government's fault. See, you should vote for Republicans who are benefiting from that AI and benefiting from the giant corporations who are going to keep replacing people with AI. And it's amazing. It's going to go really, really, really well. And all those people are going to be upset, and then they're going to riot, and then they're going to scream and throw a fit. I don't like AI, and I think it's going to ruin a lot of America. It's going to wreck a lot of things. The kids are going to be too addicted to it because it works all the time. The college graduates are going to be addicted to it. They're not going to learn anything. They're not going to know anything. And that's already a problem we have within our damn country right now. The people know little, and the people in charge know only a little bit more. They barely understand anything. There are no adults left in the country. We used to have, grown-ups. They're not anymore. Nobody understands what's going on. The people in charge of the government don't know what the government does. The experts are shit on, just like with the screwworms. Anybody who knows what the hell they're talking about is a nerd who needs to be replaced and chased out. Mark Wayne Mullen is in charge of was he in charge of DHS? Or is he just ICE? No, he's in charge of DHS, and he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't understand it. The people in the Justice Department do not know how to write things. The last couple of Trump cases got thrown out because they're blatantly illegal, and the lawyers bringing the cases don't know how to write legal briefs. They're misspelling words. They're putting things in the wrong order. They're not understanding how the actual legal process works because they're not trained in it. Because they're just sycophants. Because they are just Trump ass kissers. Ass kissing is way more valuable than a college education. Way more valuable. Eating Elon's ass and saying nice things about him will get you promoted much faster than knowing shit, having 7 degrees, understanding the complicated technology that X.com works on is of no value if you don't kiss his ass. If you don't say the nice, most politically correct things that he wants to hear. And it's politically correct, isn't it? If you were a lawyer with the DOJ right now and you said that Donald Trump was wrong, they would fire you because you are not politically correct. The right wing screams and cries about political correctness all the time, but they do it. They invented that shit. If you disagree with Donald Trump and you work in the DOJ, they will fire you because you did not agree and conform to the political reality. The political reality is Donald Trump is never wrong. And if you don't accept that, then you are wrong and you have to go. They're doing political correctness about being incorrect. And that's insane. It's wild that saying true things gets you fired and removes all your merit, but believing and showing that you believe the conservative lies is merit. It's I call them backward, and I mean it. I mean, they are entirely 100% backward from all the things that they say they are. So, rant about that over. What? Okay, I put it in the title, so we got to talk about it. More Graham Platner drama. Platner faces another controversy days ahead of Maine Senate primary. For the second time this week, Democratic Senate candidate Graham Platner is facing another major controversy. Just days ahead of the Maine primary, he is poised to win. On Thursday, the New York Times reported allegations of Platner's unsettling behavior towards women he dated, including one claim that he was physically abusive, which Platner denies. According to the Times, Platner's then-girlfriend, Lindsay Fifield, said they were dating a decade ago. He regularly grabbed her by the shoulders, sometimes hard enough to leave marks. During one argument, he twisted her arm behind her back, shoved her into a bedroom, and held the door closed. In an interview with MS Now, after the Times report was published, Platner denied Fifield's claims, and he said, can I do his voice? There's some allegations in this piece that I want to kind of... No, I can't really do his voice. It is deep, and it's got that kind of a gravelly kind of voice to it, and which is part of his draw. There are some allegations in this piece that I just want to be kind of unequivocal about are simply not true, he said. And this isn't just some lady. Lindsay Fifield works for the goddamn right-wing superpowers. What were they? The Heritage Foundation. Lindsay Fifield is a Republican operative. Her job is to get Republicans elected. Her job is to fuck the Democrats. And sometimes she literally fucks them. She's a spy. She's an agent of right-wing thought. She is an agent of the Heritage Foundation. And it's her job to hurt Democrat candidates. It's her job. That's what she's paid to do, and she is doing it now. Let's see. Platner, a political novice and oyster farmer, has also insisted that he did not know his chest tattoo he got while drunk in 2007 is widely recognized Nazi symbol. He has since had the tattoo covered up, but Fifield told the Times that Platner did know of its significance, and he even joked about it. According to her, he knew it and called it the Totenkopf, but she can't be trusted either. Anybody, and am I blinding myself? Am I putting the blind spot on myself here? I would say no. Am I intentionally doing the blind spot to myself, to this guy with a Nazi tattoo? No, because I'm seeing it. I'm telling you, it's there. That was a Nazi tattoo. He says he didn't know that it was. And a person who works with the Heritage Foundation says that he did. I don't believe anything that the Heritage Foundation says. If you are associated with the Heritage Foundation, you are a liar. For sure. Is Graham Platner a liar? Maybe. But I definitely know that she's a liar. She works with the Lindsay Fifield is 100% in my mind a liar and a political opportunist. I have no doubt about that because she works with the Heritage Foundation, who are super liars. They're fascists. They're hard right-wing superpowers who want to take over the country through the judicial system and tell you how to live your life. and I don't appreciate that. Lindsay Fifield is definitely a liar, and Graham Platner might be a liar. He might be. Is he still better than the mediocre Democrat who's running against him? Yes. Mediocre Democrats are also liars. They have a different style and a different way and a different reasoning, but they also have issues. They have their own issues, which I can get into in here in just a minute. Let's keep reading, though. So yeah, I'm not being blind. I'm seeing all the things. I'm looking at them. I'm weighing them, and I'm evaluating them. That's the opposite of blindness. Let's see. In a statement to CBS News, Platner said, "Throughout this campaign, I've been open about what was a very dark period in my life, where I struggled with undiagnosed PTSD, too often self-medicated with alcohol, and was far from the perfect boyfriend. I take responsibility for all of that and wish I had been better. Any characterization beyond that is false, and I believe politically motivated. I'm not proud of who I was then, but I am proud of the work I've done since and the movement we are building in Maine." So this is exactly what you would want him to say. He didn't deny it. He didn't say that all of it's made up and come up with excuses. He said, yeah, I sucked and I got better. I love that. Lots of people used to suck and are better now. Fifield is a conservative who lives in Virginia and has worked for Republican campaigns and the Heritage Foundation. That makes her a liar. I'm sorry. It fucking does. I cannot trust anyone who works for Republican campaigns and the Heritage Foundation. Fuck off. Fuck all the fucking way off. According to public bios, she said she dated Platner from 2013 to 2015 and told the Times that she has not been paid by a political campaign or entity since she worked briefly for Nikki Haley in 2024. Platner also acknowledged he sent sexually explicit text messages to other women soon after he married his wife. And again, so that's a shitty thing to do. He was sexting ladies consensually after he was married. That's not a good thing to do, but she knew about it. This wasn't news to his wife. She found out. She knew these things. She had disclosed the existence of these messages earlier. She had told everybody that this was a thing, and she has said, what is that? Fucking Windows. Fuck off. At the beginning of our marriage, I made mistakes, and Amy held me accountable for them, and we worked through them. His wife knew about it. They worked through it, and they're still together. That's their business. That's on them at this point. Let's see. What else was there? Is there anything else? I think so. We go here, but he says he's not going to leave. Some of the centrist Democrats have suggested that he drop out and let the shittier candidate from the Democrats win. He should abandon the thing because of controversy, which is a thing that Democrats really do often. Anybody who's on the left who has even a slight controversy is unacceptable and has to be thrown out. Centrists who have controversies, they have to be forgiven. They have to be ignored. They have to be, they have earned their forgiveness. And this is typical of politics. This is just typical politics right here, is all this is. Is he worse than a Democrat? No, he's better. In fact, he's further left than them, probably. With only a few days left until the primary election, the voting already underway. Top Democrat candidate for Senate in Maine, Graham Platner, is answering if he should remain in the race after numerous concerns over his past have come to light. Platner has maintained frontrunner status, and he said, this is what he had to say. The whole point of these stories is to make sure we're not talking about healthcare. It's to make sure we're not talking about raising taxes on the rich. It's to make sure we're not talking about getting money out of politics. I love that sentence. That's a great sentence. I love that. That is why I will continue to support him. That's why I will continue to cheer for him. I don't live in Maine, so I don't get to vote for him, but that is why I will continue to hope that he wins. That sentence right there. That suggests to me that he is a left-leaning individual. And that is good. The Republicans will forgive any crime if it nets them more power. Infidelity within their candidates is ignored for the sake of the win. Credible accusations of rape are dismissed because they need to hold the lead in the Senate. Being besties with Epstein, it's just a little quirk, it's just a little coincidence. They just lived in the same place and it's fine, and it's nothing you need to look at, and there's nothing you need to pay attention to. Because the Republicans hate liberals more than they hate pedos. It's true. They would vote for a pedo, and they have, before they would vote for a Democrat. They hold the line for power because that is the game that they are playing. They're not playing a game to make your life better. They're not playing in politics. The Republicans and MAGA and the conservatives aren't in politics to make the country better. They're there for power, either personal power, financial power, or religious domination, because they want their religion to dominate. They want their portfolio to dominate so that they can have more money. They want their own personal brand of morality to be enforced at a gunpoint. That is why conservatives do what they do. Liberals, however, are centrists. They are. The Democrats are a centrist party. They want to make their line. Well, okay. Hang on. Let me put some more thoughts out here. Editor Waldo, edit that out. Republicans, we're going to jump back to them, don't do what they do for ethics or morality. They do what they do because the guy has been forgiven by Jesus. They do it for power. Fox News is going to ignore Ken Paxton's multiple infidelities, ignore his fraud indictments, ignore his bribery, ignore his abuse of office, ignore his impeachment, but focus on Graham Platner's consensual but extramarital sexting. And that's what they're going to do. That's what the right wing is going to do. They're going to ignore actual cheating from Ken Paxton and focus on Graham Platner's extramarital sexting. And the Democrats are going to help Fox News because they need to hold on to their power as well. They just disguise it as moral outrage. The centrist Democrats are going to demand that Graham Platner step down, and he shouldn't, because they want the power instead of him. The centrist Democrats do not want a leftist winning. No, they hate that shit. The Dems and the left are two different parties. They're just forced to share the same car. Platner is talking about left-leaning ideas, and the centrist Dems don't like it. So they tried to send a centrist Dem former governor to compete with him, and she is losing. Now they are trying to make him lose. They are demanding that he give up because of shitty, stupid controversies. That they would not save her if the centrist Dem, former governor, running against Graham Platner, did these exact same things. They would not demand that she drop out. They wouldn't. The Dems are centrists who would rather a Republican win over a leftist. That I wish I could make more people hear that. I wish there was some sort of way I could make people hear that. The Democrats are centrists who would rather a Republican win over a leftist. Because if too many leftists win, it will hurt the centrists' money-making grift. The leftists will limit corporate donations, and the Dems don't like that. The leftist would push to reduce the power of lobbyists, and the Dems don't like that. The leftist would try to remove Congress's ability to buy, and hence insider trade, of stocks. And the Dems hate that. The Republicans also hate it, but they are also hating on the Dems because it's because they want the moral justification. They want to. They're also racist. So that's what it is. We've got three options here. You've got a left-leaning guy who's not perfect. You've got centrists who are stealing and buying and grifting as much as they can. And then you have a right-wing option, which also doing the stealing, the grifting, but is also racist. So those are your three options. On the right, racist grifters. In the center, grifters. And on the left, a left-leaning person who sexted outside of his marriage. I will choose the left option. Thank you. I will. And I will not apologize for it. I will explain it, and I will tell you why I'm doing it. This is an apology. This is an explanation. And that's where they are. That's where we are within this, with this situation. A lot of people on Blue Sky are screaming bloody murder about it. And I know I do often have Blue Sky links up here because it is the non-Nazi Twitter. And that's okay. I refuse to go on Twitter, and maybe this is a tangent. Editor Waldo might cut it out, but Twitter is X.com, owned and operated by a Nazi. He did the Sieg Heil. Bro, he did it twice. We all saw him do it. I refuse to give them money. I refuse to give them clicks. I refuse to be a part of that environment until he is gone. So that is why I have to be over on Blue Sky. And Blue Sky is just filled with a lot of liberals and a lot of leftists. And they fight with each other all day over on Blue Sky. If you go there, you will see leftists fighting with liberals for not being left enough, and liberals fighting with leftists for not being perfect. Because they need that number to go up, because they need that line to go up. The centrist Democrats like lobbyist money. They like money. They like corporate donations. They like insurance companies. They like insurance companies donating to them. They like money coming into them. They like the stock market. They like the stock market going up because they benefit from it. A left-leaning person would ban them from owning stocks. And that reduces their bottom line. They don't get to be a powerful senator doing insider trading and making shitloads of money off the market anymore. So Graham Platner would hurt their pocketbook, would hurt their bottom line. And I cheer for that. Unironically, I want no person working, especially high level. The higher level you are, the less access you have to the stock market. If you are a senator, especially a federal one, you are not allowed to own stocks at all. All of them must be sold before you begin your run. If a Waldo were in charge, if a leftist were in charge, you can have them beforehand. You will sell them before you're allowed. No, none of this blind trust horse shit. Because that's what they do now. A blind trust. They find someone they trust to invest all their money for them and be in charge. And that way they don't know what businesses and what companies, but they just talk to each other fucking in a quiet room where nobody's listening. They put their phones in one room, they walk into the other, and then they just fucking collude. It's horseshit. It's nonsense. It's an imaginary fucking hurdle that everyone walks around. It's a sign that says no parking, and everybody parks there all day long, and nobody ever gets a fucking ticket. Doesn't do anything. Force all of the people who want to run for Congress, the House, the Senate, or the President, force them by law to sell every goddamn stock they have. Every damn one. And I don't care if that means people won't run for fucking office. Good. Fuck them. If you only want to be in Congress to make your fucking line go up, I don't want you there. You are the problem. If you are a high-level investor and you don't want to sell all your stocks, then don't run for office. I don't want you there. You are harmful. You are a parasite on my fucking country. I don't want you there. And the left needs to explain this stuff. Why we don't trust centrist Democrats. Why I don't trust Chuck Schumer is because he lives and breathes and is intertwined with the New York stock market. I don't trust him to do what's good for me, because if it comes down between helping the American people and helping the stock market, Chuck Schumer will choose the stock market. He will. And that makes him not a government person. That makes me not want him in the government. The government should be choosing the people over the stock market. The stock market can take care of itself. It can take care of itself, and it will take care of itself. And if it goes down, it goes down. That doesn't affect me. It doesn't. My life is not any better when we're at record high stocks. Fucking doesn't apply to me at all. Doesn't apply to you either. Generally. If you are in the market, if you are even a low-level investor, maybe it could get you a little bit extra money. But even then, I think that shit is imaginary and not real. You're just being paid for being part of the imaginary horseshit. And then here comes Waldo being a turd in a punch bowl saying none of this is real. And then everybody falls apart. And then you're called a communist. Anyway, I'm off topic. I'm supposed to be talking about Graham Platner. Here's what he said back in the day. I wanted to have an adventure and kill some people. Joined up in 2004. Did Fallujah and Ramadi and managed both. Hell of an experience. Hell of an excellent experience. He's describing what he did in 2004. And some of the centrist Democrats are saying this is unacceptable. And I recognize that. I know he's a chud. Yes, he's a chud. Look at him. That does not surprise me in the least that he said some shit like that in 2004. Lots of people outside Blue Sky are like this. Lots of people were programmed by the fucking media in 2004 to be hard right-wing fucking chuds. 9/11 happened. And my country was bloodthirsty after 9/11. We immediately started invading Afghanistan and just putting people in concentration camps over there. We built fucking war crimes. We built motherfucking Guantanamo Bay. And we started paying people to turn in terrorists. We were there. We were paying informants to point out terrorists to us, and they were just pointing out anybody they damn well felt like. We didn't put them on trial. We didn't investigate. We just grabbed them, black bagged them, sent them to Guantanamo. That is why Guantanamo still stands to this day and still has people in it. Because if we released them, they would go to the press and they would say, hey, I was never a terrorist. They have no evidence, and they put me in here illegally. And then they would sue us, and they would win. And the people we think and suspect were terrorists, we can't just let them loose because we don't know what they'll do. And even if we don't have enough evidence to prosecute them, they're keeping them there forever, indefinitely, outside law. But it's such an old story, nobody cares anymore. Doing things right is the nerd way. I recognize that. And this guy is not very nerdy, but he's saying left-leaning things, and that is why I like it. We have to recognize that lots of Americans were like him in 2004. Lots of them. We have to understand what they were feeling, what they were thinking. They were programmed by the media. Excuse me. They were programmed by the media to hate Afghanistan, to hate Muslims. We should do better. We should make the world a better place. We should not enforce that idea. But at the same time, you have to know that it existed. You have to accept them for the way they are. We have to let them live lives. We have to direct them towards better, more humane ideologies. We can't just cancel them. You can't just cancel everybody who said turn the Middle East into glass. Okay? You won't have anybody left except perfect people, and there are no perfect people. Is Graham Platner perfect? No. Is he more left-leaning than the Democrat alternative? Yes, I think he is. Is he saying left-leaning things? Yes. Did he do some dumb chud shit? Yes. Is that upsetting? Yes. Am I ignoring it? No, I'm telling you what they are. I'm telling you the problems he has so that we can see the red flags. The purpose of a red flag is not to stop all forward motion. The purpose of the red flag is to allow you to recognize, hey, there's a hazard here. How do we navigate the hazard? How do we recognize what is causing this red flag? Is it a showstopper? Is it a breakup moment? Is it a absolute certainty that I saw a red flag, that means we abandon the entire course? No. The red flag is to let you know, hey, here's a problem. Doesn't mean we cancel the entire operation. Doesn't mean we give up on him. Doesn't mean we do the Republican thing and just blind ourselves to it. Red flags are a warning, not a stop sign. And even stop signs, you will roll through after you're done stopping. Red lights are navigated one person at a time in the right order, and then you get to go. So I guess a red flag is not a death sentence, is what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to organize my thoughts here. A red flag is not a death sentence. Don't make it into one. That's called canceling, and the Republicans hate it. And the Democrats use it poorly to only cancel the left-leaning people, because the left-leaning people would hurt their bottom line. And I don't appreciate that. So if you hear drama about it, recognize the drama, understand it, see what it is, and see if it is a showstopper for you. If it's a, what's the word? There's a word I'm looking for. If it's a deal breaker, that's the word I'm looking for. Red flags are not deal breakers. They're just warning signs. If you think sexting outside his marriage is a deal breaker, then don't vote for him. But you're going to have to explain why it's acceptable for right-wing shitheads to be in charge. I would prefer a left-wing guy who has a sexting controversy to any Republican. Do you think that I'm wrong in this? Are you disagreeing with me? If there's anybody in chat who thinks that this is the thing that we need to abandon it for, is this Chud comment something that he needs to drop out for? Because he told us about this in 2020. This is not new shit. It's just being brought up by liberals who are trying to make him drop out so that they can get a liberal in charge who will make the line go up. Graham Platner is not beholden to the line. He will not work day and night to make line go up. And that is unacceptable to the centrists and to the right. Which is why I like him. And again, so I'm just repeating myself now.
Poly shaming.
Poly shaming, yeah, exactly. Well, his wife wasn't in a poly relationship. So he was going outside. He was being extramarital with it. If they had agreed to it, if she were in on it and said, yeah, totally sex that sexy lady, then that would be poly shaming, sure. But she was not involved. You can't just say, oh, we're poly now after you get caught cheating. Doesn't work that way. He's balls deep and he's like, wait, we're poly now. No, that's not how that works. But yeah, if anybody sees this and they disagree with me, go to the Discord. Let me know why I'm wrong. It's fine. If you're watching this on YouTube and you think that I'm
what
a
an
crazy
unethical
person,
bastard. Well, screw.
say so in the chat. Say so on the Discord. What an unethical bastard. Well, screw him. Yeah, exactly. If he's unethical, how badly unethical is he? Is he more unethical than the Democratic centrist? I don't think so. Is he more unethical than the Republican? Absolutely not. So he's still, if you ask me to weigh the three options, he's still the best choice. He's more ethical, he's more left-leaning, and he's more moral. And he recognizes that he has problems. That's a thing that a lot of people can't do. A lot of people can't recognize their own shortcomings, their own failures. We are all somewhat blind to our own failures and shortcomings and problems. Everybody is. I recognize that, even me. But it's what you do with it. It's how you get past these things. It's how you operate, knowing that you're not a perfect person. No, and not even trying or striving or hiding any of these things. Most of his shit is wide out in the open. And the worst secret that they've got, they dropped right there. If they drop more secrets later and he changes to be less ethical than the centrist Democrat, I'll let you know. And I'll tell you that I was wrong and that the secret Nazi tattoo that he had was actually his true face. But it doesn't seem like that's the case right now. If he gets in there and he pulls a Cinema or he pulls a Fetterman, then I'll be upset and I'll tell you that I was wrong. And that's okay. It's okay to be wrong when people trick you. And that's what everybody does. The entire media is a fucking mess right now of people trying to trick everybody else. Everything in the economy is a grift. You have to not answer the damn phone because everybody who calls you is trying to steal your money. I don't know if it's just me, and I'm changing the subject now, but every time my phone rings, it's someone who wants my money. They're either a salesman trying to sell me shit and take my money. They're a debt collector trying to collect fucking money. They're a bill collector trying to collect fucking money. They're a charity trying to collect fucking money. They're a scam artist trying to steal from me and collect money. They're a political candidate trying to get some fucking money. Or there's some sort of what was the other thing that wants my money? I don't know. Some sort of robot AI thing that's trying to data mine me for money. Every time my phone rings, somebody wants money. Or it's a fucking long lost relative who wants my fucking money. I don't have all that much. It's not like I'm fucking loaded or anything like that. It's just every damn time the phone rings, somebody wants money. So I don't answer the damn thing anymore. That's why phone calls upset the millennials and the Gen Z. Don't fucking call me. Christ. Because I'll just assume that you're trying to get some damn money. Insurance salesman. Yeah, insurance salesman. Fucking money. My car warranty. A fake car warranty. Trying to get my money. Every time the phone rings, somebody wants my fucking money. Well, what else do we have to talk about? Okay, so let's close all the Platner stuff. And let's check the war. How's the war going? How are we doing on the war, guys? How's that? How's the war going? Oh, badly? Yeah. Or it's KBP trying to drag me out to the bar to spend money, which is usually pretty fun. We should do that next weekend, KBP. Not this weekend. I got shit to do. But next weekend. We'll go out to the bar and spend money. I'll get paid on Wednesday, and then we can go out this next week. Yeah, or it's KBP trying to get me to spend money. Let's go to the bar. Let's go do this thing. Let's go have fun. And I'm like, yeah, but all that fun costs money.
KB Pond Twitch just cheered 1 bit.
Thanks for the bit, KBP. So yeah, my headphones died, so I didn't hear that. Did it talk and did it call you gay? I didn't hear it. Shit, my headphones die after a few minutes. I gotta fix that. But it called you gay. How's the war going? It's going badly. Iran stops negotiating with the U.S., vows to completely block the Strait of Hormuz. Speaking of liars, speaking of unethical people, talking about people who can't be trusted, Iran can't be trusted because they are the leaders of Iran, the new leaders that since we killed the old ones, can't be trusted because they are religious fundamentalists who will do and say anything, tell any lie, do any violence to keep themselves in power. And they're trying to negotiate with the Trump administration, who are religious extremists who will tell any lie and say anything they can to stay in power. This will not end well. This is not a negotiation that is going to work properly. So Iran has said that they are going to stop negotiations and block the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian negotiators will stop exchanging messages with the U.S. through intermediaries in retaliation for ongoing ceasefire violations. Iran's state-affiliated news outlet said Tehran will move to fully block the Strait of Hormuz. Oil prices left more than 7% higher following this report. And this 7% is an issue. So when Iran tells you they're going to block it, prices go up, which is why Donald Trump goes onto the social media in America and then tells you that the Strait has been unblocked and the peace negotiations are ongoing and there's a ceasefire and everything's fine and there's no problems and there's nothing to worry about. That makes the stock price go down. This is all they care about. This is all both sides care about, honestly, is making that price go up and down to make more money for themselves. That's it. Donald Trump doesn't have some ethical fucking problem with the people of Iran. He hates them, but that's because he's a dumb bigot. He doesn't have any problem with anything that they're doing if they were paying him properly. If they were paying him, if they were bribing him, he would let them have a nuclear weapon. He would. Israel is bribing him now, and they're allowed to have a nuclear weapon. They're pretending to be our allies when all they do is hurt us. And they're allowed to do that. That's fine. That's fine. That's cool. That's good. According to them. If you pay Donald Trump enough, he will allow your country to have a nuclear weapon. That's all there is. Iran just needs to recognize that and then pay him. But they're being stubborn and not paying him. But it's a fucking mess. This war will not end well. It might peter out. It might kind of simmer down when Donnie and his friends stop paying attention and the Iran thing, and then Iran will go back to the way they were. It's hard to predict two lying sacks of shit lying at each other, and then the media lies to you about what's on each side, because the right-wing media, which is most of them, need Donnie to win, and they need America to look good and come out on top so that it helps their numbers. So Iran is lying to you to increase their bottom line. Donald is lying to you to increase his bottom line. The media is lying to you to increase their bottom line. The market will lie to you to increase its bottom line. Any economist on the internet will lie to you. Any economist on TV will lie to you to increase their own bottom line. CNBC will lie to you to increase their bottom line. CBS News is now been taken over by a new type of corporate fascist who will lie to you to improve their bottom line. Everybody's a liar. Everybody's a grifter. You live in the grift planet. You live on griftopia. Our entire planet is just grifters all day, every day, lying to each other about getting more and more and more and more. Because if you believe them, then they win, and then you'll subscribe to the newsletter or something like that, or you'll buy the stock, or you'll just go out and spend your money at the place, and that increases their bottom line. So it's just, yeah, but there's more players than there used to be. Back in the 50s, there were not as many players in the grift game. And some of the people were actually true believers who wanted good things for the country. But that's not quite the case anymore. Most everyone is just grifting. All day, every day, nonstop. All the grifting, top to bottom, everywhere you go. It's just liars lying about lies to make more money. And that's why I don't get views. I love that you're here, KBP. I love that you're here, Lazy Text again. I love that you're here, Valor. Thanks for being here. Any of it, Shinsundo, all of you. But you're all more interested in true, real things, I assume, than lies. But lies get you paid. Telling lies is the most lucrative job anybody can ever have. If you tell a lie about a magical thunder god who has a hammer and he flings it around and you make a cool movie about it, you'll get paid. If you write books about fiction, that's just a lie and it gets you paid. If you make YouTube videos about Star Wars, which is a fictional thing, you get paid. But if you talk about the actual people and the actual reality and the actual truth, nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear it, except cynics like us. So I appreciate you being a cynic with me. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. Thanks for always being a cynical bastard with me. All the cynical bastards in chat, I love you. I thank you for being here. We should band together and just make a cynical party. That's what we'll do. The cynics. The unpleasant truths. The unhappiness. So that is about it for me today. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for the
Partying
bet, KVP.
face.
Partying face. Yeah, we'll make our own little party. with blackjack and hookers, which again is more lies. I mean, you can't always win at blackjack. It's gambling. Gambling is just a lie. And hookers don't really like you. They are there for the money, but at least that's a grift you can understand. You know, that's a grift that we can all comprehend. You know, it's not fourth dimensional grift. You know, when Donald Trump, when Fox News spins a Donald Trump statement about the Iranian statement that they spun to make themselves more money, you're 5 fucking spins deep. You've been spun 5 fucking times. But the lady who touches you for money, that's only one grift, and we dig it. You know, let's get back down to one grift. That's my plea. Let's stop with the 5 spins on the grift. Let's just get down to one. Anyway, I've been rambling and insane long enough. You've put up with enough insanity from me. That's it for me today. Saturday is over. I'll be back on Wednesday, 7 p.m. West Coast time. If you want to do me a favor, go into the comments, type just something. It doesn't matter what. If you just go in there and say, if you try and spell a silly word, if you say, Waldo, I hate you, that's okay. If you hate somebody, if you hate anything, the algorithm will see it and recognize it and do me a favor and promote me to other people. That's how the algorithm works. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for doing the things. Thanks for putting the hashtags in. That shows that you're a real one, if you don't want the robot to interrupt. And I might turn some of this into a YouTube video. I don't know. I was a bit rambly today. I was a little bit all over the road today. So I might not get a video out of this, but I do have another good one. If you missed it last week or on Wednesday, I was ranting about the 4 lights from Star Trek. So if you didn't see that, I'll turn that into a video and probably launch that on Monday morning. So that'll be out on Monday. And that is it for me. I'll be back on Wednesday unless the Gestapo kicks in my door and drags me off to a gulag.